And we continue. I'm really sorry about this, but I have to go to Joyce again. I just thought that maybe if I go to talk about fundamentals, there is going to be a part about Pale in that part. We could discuss this hole we found.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Maybe not.
What world?
The camera of her mind glides over the surface.
Great bodies.
It must be.
Indeed. Elysium. It does. A term of hatred. Oh. Great things. We used to think.
ORG.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Yes. You seem to be. They say that I am so. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. I don't know, but yes.
She does not seem convinced that you'll be fine. If anything, she's realizing how deep your condition runs.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. But you already have. And you're doing just fine, despite the rubble.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, maybe we can't actually discuss it. Also, did I get rid of? Yeah, I didn't. The advanced race theory. Yeah, what the fuck? I should have. I should get rid of this next time. I don't like wasting so much skill points on just rearranging the thoughts, but I do have some thoughts that I want to learn about. So what happened to the ones I forgot? Actual art degree. Did I get rid of this? No. White morning. Fuck, now I'm forgetting what I already got. Magnesium-based life form is an interesting one. Oh, okay. The ones that I forgot are forgotten for good. And scratched out. Got it. Okay, what I wanted to do now. Shit. Why there is no amnesia cop? Also forgot to set up the chat for Twitch stream. Okay, all set. What are we doing? I swear there was one thing that I wanted to do. Also, how will I skip time now? Also, can I check the traps for phasmids still? Oh no, have to go around. I'll try the bench, I guess. Maybe that's possible. I remember it saying to me that if I don't have Kim around, I can wait for him at the bench.
An old door, worn. Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds. Poor things.
What was I doing just before that? I finished this. It was about La Responsabilité. Also, I've lost my saber.
A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner, dead. No phasmid anywhere. Poor things.
Empathy kicks in for the locusts. Oh. Money. Wait, what?
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Yeah. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You still can't see a phasmid anywhere. Poor things.
Well, at least we're not getting damaged. Maybe if... Nah, I don't think if an empathy failed, it would do that.
Always my pleasure to be of assistance.
Hey, La Responsabilité didn't work out.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters
who was who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
Come on. At first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word. He just stares at the wall.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
Trent Heidelstein? Who? What if it was the Veld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries? Is the guy with the kid, maybe?
Another likely scenario.
What about people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Well, we did skip 5 minutes. We still need, well, it's 10? I think it was at 10, so 1 hour, 40 minutes. Ah, shit. Everything is blocked. Okay, I'll use that stupid bench. I think we have one more trap. Yeah.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid. Poor things. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's
But
go.
we need to...
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
But, like... Fuck. Can't I just pass time with him? God damn it, how am I going to do this? Maybe I can't send him away, but then I don't know how it works too. Maybe he can't be summoned back. I guess I could try and reload if it doesn't work. Shit.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
You can revisit.
Oh,
Host Almighty.
We did skip 1 minute somehow right now. Shit, should I buy the board game? Like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yes?
Okay, let's try to send him away.
Excuse me?
Beat it, you're cramping my style.
Frankly, Detective, you are in a deranged state. I can't let you proceed without close supervision. In fact, under normal
Oh
circumstances,
yeah, I wanted to
I'd be
talk to our
duty-bound to report you.
guys from the
Take it
precinct.
as a token of good faith between our precincts that I haven't done so.
The lieutenant thinks you're some unaccountable wreck who needs constant supervision. But you don't have to listen to him. You're free to disobey.
But what if I need some me time?
Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself.
Sounds good.
A moment passes.
Nah, doesn't work. It will probably just lower relationship with him and that's it. Oh my god. Yeah, ask about the raid.
Inside,
That's what
you
I
see a
wanted.
set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is precinct.
10-4, come in.
I can't actually.
Fireworker, over. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over.
You mean you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me.
10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. Roger that. 10-10.
So it was-
Over and out.
Not a suggestion. I'm guessing I won't be able to talk about it to my pals too here. Shit.
Again? I can't believe this.
I do
Yes?
passing time though.
What is it?
I thought time doesn't pass when I do repeats. Did you hear that? I guess she's talking about the song he performed. Oh, did you hear me sing? Did you like it?
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
She pokes her companion with an elbow.
Huh, that was... Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches.
He stares at you.
Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again. I mean, seriously, you need to...
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse. And I really liked it.
Whatever. That was an emphasis on I. Quietly interjects, giving you a compassionate side glance.
She actually did.
Yeah, I think so. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Should I just press on a bunch of dialogue options with everybody?
Hey, was there something you needed?
I need a ring. Can you pour me one?
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker?
He points to his empty hand.
He sounds irritated. And it's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing.
Thanks, visual calculus. You sound irritated. Why? All I want is a drink.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this?
He shakes the imaginary shaker furiously.
Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No? Do you know why?
Dude, you're not very good manager. Shouldn't you be forthcoming? Because you are not bartender.
That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager.
Oh, I got experience for this.
I'm glad we cleared that. Is there anything else?
I like that. They usually give you experience for something new you learned. And this is supposed to be the thing we learned about him. The thing that he said in the beginning.
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
I want a fucking drink, asshole. You don't understand the seriousness of the situation. I'm an alcoholic, I need my fix. I'm an alcohol-operated detective. If you want me to clean up the dead body and solve the case, then you need to insert alcohol into my mouth. I don't think any of it will work. But I do like the third one. I am an alcohol-operated detective. If you want me to clean up the dead body and solve the case, then you need to insert alcohol into my mouth.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple?
You do not want to taunt me, or not when it comes to marinellas.
Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do and broken things to fix. If that was all, I'd like to return to it.
Hey. Well, it was another 2 minutes. Shit. I do want to save money for... probably for buying the gun back. So I don't want to spend it on the board game. Oh, we could play another of these.
The porteria is you push. Come on, set.
That was strange.
And the tape stopped.
This isn't Revachol.
Thing.
This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Because the guy said Corti. When Corti is supposed to be him, because like it's... his name is Ellis... Courtenaire.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
This voice actually sounded different. Maybe it was his pal after all. He sounded slightly different.
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. Never did get...
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arre.
I think we've got a few...
What else? What else?
before I squeal, pig.
You there behind your fence.
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
The hat drops even lower.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it? Probably climbed. You had...
The city's too large for...
I don't remember nights.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Thanks, Kuno.
probably climbed. You had
The city's too...
told you. Remember
What the
Yeah,
Thanks, Kuno.
probably climbed. You had
The city...
told. Remember nights.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Thanks.
just a couple.
Yeah, you
Looks like you're a
Fuck. Oh,
They're lost with...
why don't
Got told by a 12-year-old.
your test?
Get lost.
Kuno doesn't.
Fuck, this is too long. Well, let's buy stupid board games. I really don't know what to do. I don't want to be spamming for fucking 10 minutes. That's a strange... like... maybe there must be a way to do it. But like, looking it up... I mean... I think it's fine. It's not... I don't consider it cheating. Oh, the same case entries. Fuck it, let's play the board game, whatever.
A small mountain of colorful board games.
Wonderful choice, if you say so.
A civilization building board game where you get to choose a nation and set off to colonize and exploit other cultures. A star-shaped note on the box proclaims the game now includes a completely new genocide option.
In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic.
I like how sitting on a bench we don't have time for, but playing a board game. Yeah.
The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work. The exact location and time period are left deliberately vague, but it's clearly meant to represent the economic relationship between the Revacholian suzerainty and its many vassals. Good thinking. It could be a collectible someday.
Actually, let's go to the hostel so it doesn't feel like we're just there in the cold street playing on the bench.
In your hand, the cover, the exact location. The box has a nice heft to it. You hear the rattle of individual wooden tokens and feel their weight shifting back and forth. What treasures wait in store for you? Even before you open it, you can tell that this will be a meaty game of grand strategy and complex player interactions.
Remove the plastic wrap.
The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a bodice in a tawdry historical romance.
Open the box.
There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Inside, you find a thick, full-color rulebook and more than a dozen pouches of various wooden components. Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard.
Read the rulebook.
Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel.
This history seems problematic, but is important to teach children basic economic concepts.
The colorful illustrations depict cheerful workers picking apricots, hauling marble sculptures out of crumbling temples, and harvesting a strange magenta-leafed plant. Everyone is smiling. You begin to suspect there may be a political agenda to this so-called family game. Only one way to find out.
Shit. Keep reading.
The instructions are opaque at first, and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, there are many diagrams and examples throughout. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the Suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the Suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points.
Fuck the Suzerain, what about my wealth and renown?
There is no path to wealth and renown, but through the Suzerain. As one of the Suzerain's trusted administrators, your very function is the glorification of Revachol. That's where the Suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol.
How is the winner determined?
The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now.
Examine the components.
You open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards with other cardboard components that will need to be punched out before you can play.
Punch boards. But aren't they not infinite? And we will run out of them? Punch out the cardboard pieces one by one. What?
Each cardboard token makes a satisfying as you pop it out. Soon, a neat pile of cardboard coins and counters has accumulated before you.
Oh, okay, I didn't get it. They're like in one piece that you need to just disassemble.
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
Check out the wooden tokens.
In addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player, there are also several piles of colorful resource tokens, each representing one of the game's 4 principal resources. From the Empire of Sephre, orange apricot tokens. From Ilmarat, the ancestral name of Ilmara, grey marble block tokens. From the Seminine Islands, white sacks of sugar tokens. And from Supramuindi and Sarah Maritza, magenta tokens for unprocessed cocaine leaves.
Oh, those are nice.
The lieutenant picks up a sugar token and admires it.
You hold the open game box before you.
Okay, I'm wanna play.
The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours.
I hope it's not going to be 6 hours. That's a little bit too long.
I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
So he says, but his gaze lingers a moment longer on the rulebook than is strictly necessary.
Shit, I need
He
to...
could make time, if he really wanted to.
I need to put my suggestive pants on. For Kim. What was it? It was a shirt... it was a coat, I think, this one. No, it's minus suggestion. Also could try playing the pinball. The only one thing for the suggestion. Okay, let's save.
The Suzerainty box is heavy and slightly awkward. What is detective work if not an elaborate game? You need logical inference, attention to detail, the ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
Come on, it might help us think of more creative solutions to the case.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright, you've convinced me. How do we play?
I read the rules already, I'll show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you.
I should have went for we'll swing it. So I would have an advantage.
In the center is the crown of Revachon. Radiating outward are colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sarah Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress, in case you need to put the game away and return to it later. The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
He did like the Seminine Islands.
Alright, detective, your turn.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns?
Do whatever Kim did. What? Let your workers rest for a while? What is this? I didn't even set up workers in the first place. The fuck? Okay, let's try to fulfill contract then.
You draw a contract card offering a number of coins in exchange for archaeological treasures. You place all your workers on the Ilmarat territory. On your next turn, you produce 6 units of archaeological treasure and fulfill the contract for a handful of coins.
What the contract was for? 6 units? Exactly?
Not bad, detective.
But not good enough, the lieutenant seems to be saying. As he completes his own contract card, the lieutenant is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
Hey, why don't I get one of those?
Don't worry, it was mostly just luck. You'll earn some points soon enough.
What is that patronizing tone? You're one of the Suzerain's trusted administrators. You may need to put the lieutenant in his place.
I'm not even sure what points are. That's part of the problem.
Points are nothing. They don't exist. They're just an arbitrary convention that games use to reward or punish players for certain behaviors.
If points are really arbitrary, as the lieutenant says, what's to stop you from playing the game the way you want?
Am I getting points right now?
There are some paranoid types who believe the moral intern keeps detailed score sheets for everyone in the Real Belt. But that's obviously nonsense. Otherwise, no. There are no points, just your actions and the consequences of those actions.
That's reassuring.
That's just the way it is.
The lieutenant doesn't seem to find much value in dwelling on the subject.
Now, I believe it's your turn.
Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. Those aren't your only options. You could also show your workers how much you appreciate them by investing some of that wealth in them. After all, they're the ones producing wealth for the Suzerain.
That's a suggestion from Rhetoric, which is interesting.
Well, sure, you can do that. It's just not a terribly effective strategy, but then it's up to you.
Yeah, like, if this game is supposed to be about colonialism, and also it is political, I don't think it's the winning strategy would be in it to invest in your workers. Well, let's try that. It was a suggestion. I would focus on fulfilling contracts, because I don't think Kim is a very aggressive player, but I guess let's invest in workers.
To the lieutenant's puzzlement, you spend several turns building various improvements to your territorial infrastructure. Soon, your workers have access to clean water, paved roads, and basic hobbies. In return, they produce 1 extra resource per turn.
Gaze on your workers like a benevolent parent.
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points.
What do you mean?
Take a look at the scoring tables in the back.
The lieutenant turns to one of those appendices you skipped over earlier.
You see in Table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachol gives you a multiplier of 5.
So you're saying the rune cards are completely divorced from the well-being of the people who are generate their wealth. So you're saying I should treat my workers like disposable labor instead? So you are saying the values of the ruling class are completely divorced from the well-being of the people who generate their wealth?
Yes, precisely.
Nonsense. Remember what the lieutenant said. If points are arbitrary, who cares about winning? You should reject their system and just play how you want.
Huh, okay. I like that.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond.
Lose to
He
Kim
moves
anyway,
aggressively
probably.
onto the Safrey territory. Soon, his workers are producing a steady supply of extremely valuable apricots. For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Saramaritsa, where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens. You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points. You know, this isn't unlike the situation the historical Revacholi and Suzerainty faced in Safrey in the middle of the last century.
Tell me more.
Well, the Suzerain was looking for new markets for all the cocaine it was producing, and it settled on Safrey. By introducing cocaine into Safrey under exclusive contract, the Suzerain created an extremely valuable captive market for an extremely addictive product.
So is it the history with the China when British started selling opium there? Is this trying to do an homage to that? It was like very it sold there very well, and the market was just booming, but Chinese people were fucked up by the opium very much. Like the society was crumbling because of it. That's fucked up.
If you could somehow get the lieutenant's workers addicted to your cocaine, you could not only make them less productive, you would also force the lieutenant to pay you for your cocaine tokens each turn.
Can you even do that?
Yes, you can. It's right there in the rules. Now's your chance. Show the lieutenant what happens when he patronizes you. You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
Attack lieutenant and steal all his resources? Give back to the workers? It wasn't even discussed. What the hell was that? Give back? I mean, cocaine? Like what? Sorry, Kim, you are not going to like this. The lieutenant's face goes Tony as you take your turn. He does not appreciate you getting all his workers addicted to cocaine.
With each passing turn, you slowly bleed the lieutenant of coins as his own workers become less productive and more dependent on your magenta cocaine tokens. As a matter of historical fact, this is almost exactly what happened in Safrey. To this day, fully half of the former Safrey Empire remains dependent on international aid in exchange for a steady supply of cheap produce.
Isn't this what they did in the opera called Suzerainty in real life?
More or less.
The lieutenant says, but he's thinking less about matters of historical wrongdoing than how to get out of the jam you've put him in.
Realizing victory is slipping away, the lieutenant launches a desperate gambit: protectionism. By erecting tariffs on your cocaine, He hopes to starve you out of the market at the risk of incurring the suzerain's disfavor. The end game is upon you. Do you escalate the trade war with the lieutenant in hopes of crushing him with your economic might? Or do you ignore his aggression and focus on building the mighty victory column structure in Revachol herself? Alternatively, you could throw the whole game away by trying to build a public education system for the children of your workers.
Oh yeah, that.
The choice is yours. There's a reason very few players ever attempt to build a public education system for their worker tokens. It's extremely expensive and never pays off by design. Your boondoggle nearly bankrupts the suzerain's treasury, and you suffer a significant penalty to your final score.
Ouch.
The lieutenant says, cringing at your spectacular failure. You taught me that points are arbitrary. I decided to play the game how I wanted instead.
The lieutenant opens his mouth, as if to issue a blistering retort, then hesitates.
You know, Detective, there's something admirable about that, in its own way. Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You
No,
each
it's
spend
10,
an
exactly.
inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication. After double, then triple checking your maths, you have your final score. -5 victory points. You'll be lucky if the suzerain doesn't have your whole family executed for such a pitiful performance.
I've got 20 points.
He says, slightly embarrassed at the point differential.
Well, there's always next time. Figuratively, I mean. There's no way we have time to play this game again. Now, let's clean up and get back to work.
Figuratively. So, there's no second chance of this?
You hold the open game box before you.
That's hilarious. Alright, time to progress. I guess it's a good thing I bought this game because it was kind of fun. But I hope I won't. I won't regret it. She's supposed to be at the boardwalks, I believe. Oh yeah, I can't actually see the map. The pigs, she called. Oh my god. This is terrifying.
Put your hands where I can see them.
The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
She screams
Show me your hands! Right now!
in the megaphone.
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand.
She looks like a fucking Dark Souls boss.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
No, the tear is mine. I collected it.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress! I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous.
I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, administer street justice at our own peril. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect is under control. Suspect is under control.
In her mind, you're under control now. The next moment, you're not. It appears the things she says are very real to her, as long as she's saying them.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Yeah, also you are not aiming correctly, Kim.
You have to go for the gun sooner or later.
What the fuck?
Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Cut the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer. A lower-ranking police officer.
Officer Peggs, W. Freighter Harrier Dubois requesting your sidearm for inspection.
What?
She lowers the megaphone and stares at the gun in her hand. Patrol officer, you are in gross violation of the RCM Code of Conduct.
Sir?
She hesitates, looking around in confusion. The three-barreled pepper box wavers in her hand. Patrol officer, I have to sign you up for a disciplinary hearing.
Easy. Press her too hard and shit.
With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slams the megaphone against her lips and teeth. A trickle of blood runs down her chin. She doesn't notice it.
Officer compromise. Unlawful impersonation. Pigs en route. Engage your will.
Impersonation? I was playing it by... Come on.
Okay. She's actually more agitated now. My bad.
Hey. Are you on drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Really? We can solve this peacefully. Please lower the weapon.
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect at large. Get on the ground.
Her eyes dart between you and Kim.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Let's just talk, alright?
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red key. Big red key.
Her head snaps at you.
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this. What happened to make her like this? Loneliness. Again, a neurodegenerative disease.
Ma'am, we're here to help. Tell us what's wrong.
The woman looks at you, but through you, like you don't exist. Her eyes gleam feverishly, and the rotating police beacon lights reveal deep scratch marks on her cheeks. Recent, self-inflicted.
This is the police! Unlawful engagement! Hands on the ground! Scumbag!
So this is what the weather's like on the other end of a cop's gun.
I hear you, ma'am. Look. Hands are going on the ground.
Fascinating.
The lieutenant's eyes stay fixed on the woman and her gun. He studies them closely, then mumbles.
See? This is what happens when we're not around.
You are not the police, we are the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Lieutenant Double Freighter hired Wa 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57th.
No. Oh, no. No. I thought Mr. Moran... Gareth!
Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
The crazed woman mumbles, shaking her head. Suddenly, she raises the megaphone and screams. Mr. Moran Gareth. Yeah, it's not clicking.
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
What's the situation, officer?
Lieutenant hesitates, addressing the woman.
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
We're really the cops. Look at my badge.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Azimuth!
She repeatedly bashes the megaphone against her head, then screams in the bloody mouthpiece.
It's not a code, just disjointed words.
Yeah, it's not happening. Deal with this later? What do you mean by that?
Alright.
What?
This is how we do it.
Seriously?
17%? In her face, already darting right, and immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist.
Wow, the tear bag somehow was tied into this. That's good. Maybe it was one of the like hidden checks. If you have a handbag, you have like extra points. Shit. Crazy.
No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all three barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Huh. Hurl the tearbag, already darting right, and immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist. So do not break a wrist? I think communicating this information to Kim is a nice thing to do, because if I just play it, Kim might try to protect me, and this lady might be dead. As cool as it could seem, I don't know, there's a chance he will kill her. I don't get it. I thought I was throwing a fucking trash bag at her and we're just in the middle of the struggle, but now I can talk to the Kim in whisper? Like, what? Or I guess it's how we're planning to do it, right? Alright, this is how we do it. Okay, okay. Okay, am I almost certain there are no bullets in that gun?
I've been thinking that too, but it's impossible to tell for certain in these lighting conditions.
Okay, so now he knows. Go ahead, pull the trigger, I dare ya.
Suicide back home. Split-second decision. Eat lead, scumbag.
Oh my god.
For a moment there,
I was 80% sure the gun is empty, and still the instinct almost took over.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets.
So...
Isn't real?
I won't have bullets. I just will have a gun without bullets.
Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
The gun lands on the wooden planks and tears run down her scratched cheeks. On the other hand, I don't actually need to pay her for anything.
She looks devastated. Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Her voice is growing fainter as she rocks back and forth slowly.
This limbed-and-headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore.
poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
The lieutenant holsters his pistol.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
You tried to kill me?
I don't think she actually... You're right, of course. This could have been very bad.
What do you mean? He pulled the trigger. She thought it was loaded. If it was loaded, she would kill me.
He's trying not to think about how bad it could have been had the gun been loaded.
What do you think is happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
The lieutenant replies, inspecting the catatonic woman standing in the dark. Shouldn't we just put her in the clinic? But why was she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness.
Yes, this is what happens when you listen to many cop shows and no. Loneliness doesn't fit too, like what? There are many lonely people around, but they just don't do that. You're probably right, loneliness.
Yeah, looks like a bad case. But the question is what to do with her right now.
He gives the woman a compassionate look. Should we arrest her?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
I mean, yeah, that's a good solution, I think. Also, I don't want Kim to be out again. Yeah, I try to sound like a demand for the job.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the woman. She mutters. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. Exactly. With only the voice of Gareth Morand to accompany her on Channel 8. She must have built a new, sadly better, reality from the only material available. Radio waves and cop shows.
I guess that was the answer.
She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
Wheeler's 9mm paperbox pistol. A 3-shot revolving barrel Wheeler's La Selle pepperbox, typically assigned to officers of the RCM upon reaching the rank of sergeant. The butt of the gun is worn and the engraving of the on the side reads Sunrise Parabellum. This is your gun, no doubt about it. Parabellum. Parabellum?
Parabellum.
A type of semi-automatic pistol or machine gun.
The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there, too. You're thinking of taking them. Do. The old woman doesn't react to your touch. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
I think so.
The lieutenant nods.
Confiscate the narcotics.
You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed as evidence, obviously. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them. A little like you are doing now.
You might not want to take those. You seem to have a slight problem.
The lieutenant states firmly.
Listen to him, for once.
I need to do this case. I need everything I can get.
Right. Okay.
The lieutenant gives you his usual firm stare, then sighs. Could have used that a little bit earlier. Ooh. That's a good one. I mean, I don't actually need much of authority, but it doesn't lower any other stats at least. The cap is sturdy and comfortable and seems to retain its form very well. It fits you perfectly. The inside of it smells like cheap tobacco and typewriter ink. It feels familiar somehow. Perhaps 2 is yours? Though how the pigs got it is a mystery. Mystery, seriously. You left so many of your items behind. But how you left the cap was a mystery. I like how, like, every other piece of our clothing is just anything, and the only piece that actually represents the police is a cap. Yeah, Hardy Boys are probably already gone, but let's check.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying.
Yeah, we don't have bullets.
It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
I think my hand recognizes it.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. This gun, Sunrise Parabellum, will be the only thing standing between you and the all-consuming nothingness that threatens to eat the world. Sheathe it and wait, Herald. It won't be long now.
Might be for the best that I can't use it. So, do we actually have anything interesting here? Missing persons cases. I have no idea what this is about, really. Date of birth generator. Eh. Does it really matter? Jamrock Shuffle. It's because I opened a bunch of crates, I think. Well... yeah, I guess... Yeah, there's no things that I actually extremely interested in, so let's just go for something else. Logic. we could try asking a pawn shop keeper for bullets. On the other hand, I have such low hand-eye coordination that I probably shouldn't even shoot. Flashlight.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I doubt it, but I can try and answer.
The pawnbroker.
So where do I get the bullets? Cause I haven't stumbled upon anything related to bullets. Not even a clue. Like, what the hell? Can Kim give me some? That would be nice. But I'm guessing there's no such thing, yeah. God damn it, this is dumb. Like, he said you should get a gun when we were like reaching the place of no return, but what's the point without having bullets?
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want?
There's an old catatonic lady in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
The big man laughs, nearly spitting out his beer.
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
The lieutenant looks Titus in the eye.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it?
Yep, her.
God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kurong or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig?
Titus gives him a beer salute and turns to you.
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun.
Nope.
You will suffer if you do.
She didn't have anything of mine. Like, you could have came up with something instead of the gun. Now it doesn't sound believable.
No? Well, whatever then, Copper.
Titus chugs his beer down and wipes his mouth.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
He's still thinking it over in the corner.
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
The tattooed man scratches his head with his knuckles.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with?
What's her name, her real name?
Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
He says, pouring himself another drink. Marianne, amigo LaPlante.
Fuck you, pig. What the fuck you are playing at, huh?
He stands.
Easy, Al. Don't let him get to you. Have one for Auntie LaPlante, huh?
Don't disrespect Miss LaPlante, Copper. She's good people. We all get a little crazy sometime.
Who was she?
Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
He swirls his beer.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
How did she get like this?
Wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
He furrows his brow in thought.
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig?
The tattooed man shouts. I mean, you are trying to be police here. Someone who wanted to set the world right before it ends. Ever think of that?
No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
He blinks.
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird. But whatever gets you through the day.
Where'd she get all her cops gear?
Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Titus says, shrugging.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
Thanks for helping out with this one, Titus.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Eugene raises his glass in toast. Alright. And now this is time for the raid in the next episode.